Welcome to our brand new MW Partners TV channel. I'm Albert Geigel and my company, MW Partners, is a specialist dental accounting practice. We are very excited to bring you industry news in this new format. MW Partners acts for all types of dentists within the industry, whether they're employee dentists, contractors, associates or principals, and caters for all specialities such as orthodontists, endodontists, oral surgeons, paediatric dentists and periodontists. This allows us to benchmark your business with accuracy using our data. Our knowledge and experience allows us to ask the right questions. We know about the costs to comply with infection control procedures and how to engage dental contractors. We understand what the Child Dental Benefits Scheme means to a dentist. While we are based in Melbourne with a satellite office on the Gold Coast, we act for dentists right across the country. My job is to give dentists support by advising on all aspects of accounting, taxation, payroll, GST and related business matters. At some point in time, most dentists are looking to have a practice of their own, and this is where our industry knowledge as well as our industry contacts make all the difference. When buying a practice, we ensure that from the start the most appropriate corporate structure is used, and then we advise you on every step of your journey to buying and running a successful dental practice. My passion is to turn great dentists into brilliant business people. Every dentist's financial and tax situation is unique, even though a lot of the issues fall on common ground. We don't offer solutions that are a one-size-fits-all, but ensure that the solutions and strategies are tailor-made to suit your particular circumstances. Your reasons for choosing MW Partners as a specialist accountant are similar to your reasons for referring a patient to a specialist dentist. You are looking to ensure that that patient receives the best care based on their particular circumstances. If you know anyone who can benefit from the information provided in this or future episodes, please feel free to send the link for our TV channel to any dentist in your network. In this episode, we're going to talk about one of the most complex and often reoccurring question that I get asked all the time, and that is relating to dental contractor payments. Now, most dentists, whether they're an employee or a contractor, or they own their own practice and they pay or engage a dentist to work for them, will usually pay them on a commission basis, and that commission typically is around 40%. There's been a whole lot of industry talk about sham contracting, and that arises where the tax office believes that the arrangement should be one of employee, but in fact it is one of contracting. There are two ways in which a dentist can in fact be paid under the 40% commission method, and that is net or gross. Net is really easy to understand in that the dentist receives 40% of the gross patient fees after the labs have been deducted. The gross up method is a reverse type method that applies whereby the dentist actually receives all of the patient fees and then pays a service fee to the dental practice. But I'm going to explain that with an example in a bit more detail. So under the net method, if the patient fees generated during the month were $11,200 and the lab fees that were incurred for those patients was $1,200, there's a net of $10,000. That $10,000 would then have $4,000 or 40% go to the dentist. Because the dentist is being paid for their services, there would be GST applied, so another $400 would be paid, being a total of $4,400 being paid to the dentist. Now, some of the contracting dentists go, "You beauty, I'm actually picking up more dollars than I expected." However, when they come to do their business activity statement, they're going to need to refund that $400 to the tax office, so they're left with their net $4,000 position. Under the gross-up method, what happens in the same circumstances, $11,200 is generated and $1,200 in labs, giving a net $10,000 amount for the month. That $10,000 is paid to the dentist in full. The dentist would then be charged a service fee because technically they're renting the chair, and a dental assistant has been provided for them, so the surgery charges them 60%. Now, most of you will probably have worked out that that's going to mean 40% is going to be left over for that dentist, so hopefully they end up in the same position. Because $6,000 is charged to that dentist, the dental surgery also needs to charge GST. So they're going to charge $600 worth of GST, leaving a net amount with the dentist of $3,400. So now all the contracting dentists out there are feeling significantly poorer because under the net method, they received $4,400 in their bank account. Under the gross-up method, they've only got $3,400 left in the bank account. But because they were charged $600 in GST, when they do their business activity statement, they'll actually get a refund of that amount back into their bank account. So they will actually end up with a net $4,000 overall. So the two methods end up with exactly the same result with respect to dollars in the dentist's bank account. The real difference is, under the net method, there is an opportunity for the tax office to say that this is a sham contracting method and that dentist should in fact be an employee. Under the gross method, the contracting dentist is not contracting at all. They're not an employee at all. They're technically renting a chair and running their own business. They are then paying a service fee to the surgery, and that means there is no contractual relationship between the two parties, and that creates some advantages on both sides. So hopefully that explains the contracting issues for you. It's fairly simplistic. There'll be a number of questions from you, and I'm certainly happy to take those questions by way of a quickie.
That was great, Albert. Thank you. But what I was wondering is, with the choice of two options between gross and net, what are the advantages for the dental surgery?
The advantage for the dental surgery is that it completely changes the contractual arrangement so that they're not being contracted to the surgery. The surgery is providing a service to that contracting dentist. And that means that they're unlikely to be considered a deemed employee, and therefore the surgery doesn't need to be concerned with superannuation or employee leave entitlements or workers' compensation insurance or potentially payroll tax. It's the way that all the larger corporates engage with their contracting dentists, and it makes for a much smoother and efficient way to engage their services.
The advantages sound really great. So what would the disadvantages be?
Well, the disadvantages almost the exact opposite of what the advantages are. So if you're going to use the net method, then there's a possibility that you would be considered to either be engaged in sham contracting, or that the contracting dentist is deemed to be an employee. If that's the case, the surgery may be liable for superannuation on those commission payments, workers' compensation insurance, payroll tax, and under the Fair Work Act, employee leave, including long service leave. These are all an issue and can be quite expensive to the practice, so it's therefore important to get the right information and set up your contracting arrangement correctly.
Okay, so let's turn the tables on these two options now. What are the benefits to dental contractors?
Benefits to dental contractors are not that significant under the two methods, because if they are considered to be an employee, the dental contractor has basically complied with all of their sides of the requirements, because their work really won't change whether they're an employee or a contractor. However, from a net method point of view, which tends to be the most risky, it's also the simplest and the easiest for both the dental contractor and their accountant to understand, because they're merely getting 40% of their patient fees. Under the other method, it's quite easy to misinterpret and misunderstand the way or the nature of the arrangement, and that may lead to some issues with GST and the amount the dentist receives.
Well, you'll know exactly what I'm going to ask now. What are the disadvantages for dental contractors?
I actually did know you were going to say that, but the disadvantages for the contractor are that we have seen instances where the tax office will actually step in and cancel the contractor's ABN number. That prohibits them working in any contractual arrangement. They will only have an opportunity to be an employee. Other than that, really no disadvantage and no penalties from a tax office point of view. All the risk is really with the dental surgery that's trying to engage those services. The other bit is that with the industry at the moment, there is it's a tough market for new graduate dentists to get into, so sometimes they're forced into a contracting position whether they like it or not. I've been getting lots of questions from clients as to what this Quickie is all about. Can you please help me?
Yes, absolutely, Albert. Quickie is a brand new and exciting way to communicate on a more personal level, as it is a video messaging platform. You can download Quickie for free at the App Store or Google Play, set up your very own profile, and then start searching for your friends and family to send those questions or quickies, if you will. And the best thing is you can answer it in your own leisure. And it appears live as we are doing right now, Albert. It is as simple as that.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you found it helpful. Be sure to be watching the next episode, where I'm going to run through the best tax deduction that a dentist can get, and that's the $20,000 asset write-off. I'll be going through all the tips and the traps to make sure that you can maximise this deduction, which is really important because the deductions expire at 30th of June 2018. So make sure that you're watching for that. Don't miss out.